power. The Real Raw offers us a chance to have a microphone, a stage, form ecosystems, make more money in less time with more magic, thanks to the formula that Sean Callagy has been curating for over 23 years. And Sean Callagy is an entrepreneur, a national speaker, philanthropist, one of America's top trial attorneys, and is the chief visionary officer of Unblinded. And although he is blind, he is here to unblind us in integrity through micro distinctions on how we can all go from hello to yes in any role play we play in life, and leaders can influence leaders and make the world a more heart-centered and amazing place. Welcome, Sean Callagy, and everybody that's here today.
Thank you, Vivian. And we always say, who doesn't want Vivian traveling everywhere to do such amazing introductions? And now try yours on for size, because we got some awesome people today. Vivian, who we got?
Oh my gosh, we have Miriam Malik. She is a first-generation immigrant, first female lawyer, and first award-winning immigration lawyer in her family. She's a star everywhere she goes, from the New York Times Top Rising Stars accolade in 2019. In America's 100 LLC, she was voted America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys for New York City, and by the American Institute of Legal Counsel, 10 best immigration attorneys in New York, and is hailed by the New York Metro Stars, a super lawyer. Welcome, Super Miriam.
Thank you. That was really, wow. That's awesome. Thank you. Thanks. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Miriam, how are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Very good. Very good. So what's happening out there and how are you doing? Like, what are you up to in the world?
I'm doing well. My dad was supposed to come on and he says he's on. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on because we're doing the role. We're doing the.
Yeah. We'll get him. We'll get him supported. So, and Blinded team.
Oh, he's on. There he is.
There we go. Yeah. We got that covered, Miriam. All good. And what's a fun fact, Miriam? Besides the fact that you're going head to head with your dad today, like, what's a fun fact?
What's a fun fact? Well, I speak, read, and write Korean. So
What?
when I go to nail salons and they're speaking Korean, which often they talk about us, I usually can understand, and I'll say something in Korean that I understand Korean, which is 한국말 조금 알아요, and they'll be shocked, even though I have no idea what they're saying.
Miriam is fighting with the Korean nail salon people, in addition to saving people from being deported and immigrating and criminal things and best things and whatever. Miriam Malik, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent. So, Vivian, but wait, there's more.
I know. I'm going to go ahead and I don't know if your dad can Dr. Sajad tell me if he's on right now or not, or should I come back and circle?
Yeah. We'll
He's on, back. Dad. We can't see you.
He's hiding. He's hiding.
So you guys can see me now?
I can hear you, but we would love to see your face.
Abu, can you click on the video? Can you click on the video link so we can see you?
Miriam, this reminds me of the day when you were trying to bring me on to your Facebook Live. Do you remember that day?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, that was like an hour of me talking.
Yes, you're like, wait, almost.
He's on.
Amazing. So, Vivian, please.
We have Dr. Sajad Malik in the house, and he is Miriam Malik's dad, which is so nice. He's a dermatologist, and he's the director of the U.S. Census in Florida, and he can tell us the truth about the census. So go ahead and let us know about it, Dr. Sajad Malik.
So I've been with the census for the past 13 years, and I think Miriam told you guys that I have some secrets about the census.
Yes, tell me.
But I'm sorry, I can't disclose the secrets with you guys. You have to meet me one by one, one-on-one.
Come on, this is the real raw. We're like ripping it open here. No, I'm kidding. So that's amazing. Like national secrets or state secrets being revealed today. Miriam with her dad, incredible. And yes, so thank you for being here. And what's a fun fact, sir?
So I'm like in a process of buying a house. And so the Miriam is off and on here, and we have been having a lot of conflicts about the price and the strategy and all that. And then in the end, we like Miriam started crying. And
I think this has to end. I think that's the end of
No. So what was Miriam saying when she was crying?
No, the real truth here.
Then I paid like 100,000 over the price in order to make her happy.
This is amazing. I want to just have the Real Raw be all about this topic today. Miriam, thank you. This is like golden and amazing.
Yes.
Miriam, are you having fun?
I'm having a great time, Sean.
Mona says hello, by the way.
Hi, Mona.
So thank you guys. Amazing. So yes, Vivian, but wait, there's more. Are you there, Vivian? Did we lose Vivian?
I'm so sorry. I needed to unmute myself. We have Alex Gudilko, and he is the founder of Engineering Design Studios. As an entrepreneur, innovator, and technology advisor, he's the go-to guy in creating new products, mobile apps, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, virtual and augmented reality. In fact, his superpower is helping companies understand and apply new technologies in their business. He's also a mentor to startups, a speaker, and an angel investor in technology companies. So welcome, Alex.
Alex,
Thank you
what's up?
I want to speak to the guy that just described. I want to know him more.
This is a lot of fun. Alex, what's a fun fact, sir?
Let me think about that. I'm going to add to what Miriam was saying. I'm revealing that every second person in US or every third person in US actually knows some curse Russian words. So let's say when I speak to someone, they know a couple of words. And I'm revealing that, every American speaks a little bit of Russian.
Miriam,
Yes, Sean?
do you know any Russian curse words?
I don't, but I hear some.
I don't either.
You.
Yes, I don't either. Alex, after this Real Raw, we'll be going Facebook Live and YouTube and LinkedIn Live with Alex, teaching everybody, Vivian, Russian curse words. Vivian, you down?
I'm down. I'm always down for curse words.
Excellent. So Russian curse words. We have top dermatologists with state and national secrets. Miriam saving the immigration policies of the globe into the US, protecting the Statue of Liberty. It is an amazing day in the Real Raw, but we're not done.
No.
Vivian, who else?
We have a brilliant and talented marketer. Justin Dennis is the co-founder, along his pop, and president of DSC Consulting, a company that partners with the representatives of sports legends and celebrities to raise funds for nonprofits. Welcome, Justin.
Hey,
I
Justin.
can't hear you. You're on mute.
There you go. Good to be here. Nice to meet everybody.
Hey, Justin, we're having a little bit of fun today. I hope it's not overwhelming. Where are you calling in from?
No, I'm in Austin, Texas.
Very, very cool. Austin. And how did you get connected to the Real Raw?
I found out about you guys through Janelle Gordon with Beyond Freedom.
Oh, yeah.
She is a phenomenal person. She has a nonprofit called Beyond Freedom that helps survivors of human trafficking. It helps them turn their lives around and get, rescues them from that life. So Janelle actually introduced me to you guys.
Oh, thank you, Alex. That's awesome. I'm sorry. So Janelle and I, Mona and Fernando, were in Utah at the Operation Underground Railroad headquarters. And there, Prince, Janelle's son, we were committed to him finding his first snow, even though it was like in June. And on like top of Deer Valley Mountain, we found some snow, and Prince threw his first snowballs. So welcome, and Janelle's amazing. So
yeah, she is.
Yeah. So, but
is that when you were doing snowballs, throwing it at the car?
Yes, we were throwing. Fernando was not happy with me because
this is a good little fun story. Why don't you share it?
Yes, I was encouraging Prince, Janelle's 5-year-old son. I thought there's no better way to throw a snowball, guys, than to throw it against the car. So we rented a truck.
Yeah, where else can you throw it? You're after
out, it's awesome. It might dent the car. I'm like, we'll pay for it. So all good. Fernando did not like that plan, Vivian, but we had a lot of fun.
I thought it was not the best plan, but hey.
Yes, but then I started telling Prince to throw that like at the windows, and then he really started getting nervous. But a story for a different day. So welcome.
Thank you.
He's a maverick, that Sean. We have Jordan Edwards, founder and CEO of Edwards Holistic Consulting. Here he infuses personal development into financial literacy to help clients achieve their needs. Jordan, the consulting guru, started a podcast called Clocked In with Jordan Edwards, focusing on unconventional success stories. Welcome, Jordan.
Thank you. Really happy to be here.
Hey, Jordan, pleasure to have you. Where are you calling in from today?
Crazy enough, Denver, Colorado. So I was in Tampa last week and my lease ended there. And me and my girlfriend decided to just go month to month, hopping around in different cities, checking out the US.
Oh, awesome, brother. And what's a quick fun fact? Well, that's a fun fact. But how about another fun fact?
The way I got connected to this podcast was actually through Joe Converto. Let me check it real quick. It's Joe
Camberata?
Yeah. And then he introduced me to Fernando, and then I did the podcast with him earlier this week, and he asked me to be on this.
Very cool. Well, that is absolutely a fun fact, Jordan, and welcome. And we've had the likes of your amazing selves and Les Brown and Brad Sugars, founder of Action Coach and TV Lawyers Accounts, etc. And a fun fact is that next to me is my laptop, because I'll be speaking at Tony Robbins' Business Mastery event in just a couple of hours. Woo! So we're kind of dual tracking in the timing. And thank goodness it didn't move up, it moved back. So timing is very comfortable and working. So very, very good stuff. So welcome again, everybody. And who do we have as the role player today, Vivian?
We have David Rush, the executive coach, consultant, and trainer at Templar Advisors, where he helps business executives transform their skills in communication, presence, sales, and negotiation so they can be empowered to influence and have a bigger impact in the world. Before that, he spent 15 years in the financial services across the globe, including Greenwich Associates, Bear Stearns, JP Morgan, and Bank of China. So welcome, David. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here.
David, welcome, brother. How are you, and where are you calling in from?
I'm great. Loving the energy. I am in New York, Midtown Manhattan.
Oh, boy. Awesome. How are things in Midtown?
They're interesting, to say the least. I think it's gotten a little bit more lively, but there were some moments where it's been pretty interesting, quiet, and different element, that's for sure.
David is exercising outstanding transformational vocabulary and keeping the vibration tight. He could have gone with post-apocalyptic, escape from New York, but he chose interesting. Beautiful work, David. That is today's human influence unleashed. So, David, and how about a fun fact besides the fact that you are beautifully enjoying Midtown Manhattan?
First thing that came to mind is I can walk on my hands. My sister was a gymnast, so as a kid I watched her do it. I duplicated it. It's a funny and fun party event when it comes up.
Would you like to at some point unleash that during your role play today?
If the spirit moves, for sure.
Yeah, that is up to you. I leave that to you. And we disclaim all liability here on the Raw for anything that happens to personal injury. And Miriam Malik will be defending any claims that you make against us. Thank you. I'm really kidding. So Miriam, would you defend us if David is injured while you're role playing with him? Or might you be a witness? It gets very complicated, Miriam, does it not?
Hands down.
Yes. All right. So it is time. Vivian, any final words from you as you send us off into this epic, epic afternoon?
Have an amazing day. Have fun, enjoy, and crush it.
All right. Thank you, Vivian. Great job, as always.
Thank you. Ciao.
Real
All
quick.
right. Yes.
Adam, before we get started, I have my fun fact. And that is that my fun fact is on this day last year, I saw you up on stage at Business Mastery. And I was, of course, introduced to you, which you then introduced me into the formula of all formulas, which allows for the freeing of exponential abundance in your money, time, and magic, which then led to me walking away from millions of dollars at the organization I was working at the time I was at Business Mastery to join you in this incredible mission. So today, special day, a very
Adam,
fun.
Is today the actual date?
I don't know if it's the exact date, August 20th, that you were on stage at last year, but it is definitely the same event at the same time in Las Vegas. So to me, it's the same day, no matter what. But yeah, it gives me goosebumps and chills to.
You know what? can you just check your, like while we're on the railroad today for fun, check your calendar. Please check the internet or have somebody, Adam, please, to see what day it started on last year. Because it would start on the night of registration. Then like I would have been on day 2. So that's super interesting. Oh my God, I'd love to see that because I'll talk about that today. Either way, I'm going to talk about it, but it'll be super cool if it was the same date. All right. So yeah, it is time to go. So Miriam, since this is your dad's first time encountering this, would you be kind enough to go first?
Sure. So.
All right.
Okay.
And so David could be anybody you want. Judges, what are we doing here? What we're doing here is unlocking the superpower of influence, the ability to go from hello to yes to people. It's what builds and destroys companies. It's what keeps people in or out of the United States. It forms nations. It ends marriages. It wins money, loses money, markets, sells, leads people. All of these things, right, are done because the superpower of influence and the ability with heart-centered integrity to go from hello to yes, right? So with Miriam, the question for you is, who would you like David to be? And that would be somebody you're seeking a big yes from in the world. It could be a client. It could be a strategic partner. It could be for a book deal. It could be at the UN. It could be the president for a policy level thing or member of Congress. Anything you want, Miriam. Who would you like David to be?
Sure. So I am me, the immigration attorney, and David was introduced to me through a friend who I did an E2, which is an investor visa. So David's an individual. He's from, let's say, Germany, and he's a businessman of high net worth. So we're doing an entrepreneurial visa for him, and he's very well known in Germany, but he just hasn't come into America. So that's his next step. And then that's how, so potential client.
Amazing. All right, David, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, judges, real quickly, what you're assessing in this first round is just how open David's listening becomes, like how connected he feels to Miriam, and that she effectively puts something at stake in this first round, which is 3 minutes. In this second round, then Miriam is going to talk more about herself and her heroic, unique identity and move forward to an agreement. But this first round, you're judging, you're assessing in this presentation the depth of connection, as well as putting something at stake. Miriam, you ready?
And how long, what's the time frame?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
But then you'll have a second round of 3 minutes after this. So this is a first round of 3 minutes. Then David's going to get a phone call. He's like, Miriam, I'll be right back. And then a little while from now, we'll have a second round of 3 minutes.
Okay.
So it's one same conversation.
Perfect.
All right, take us in.
Hi, David.
Hey, Miriam, how are you?
I'm great, David. I just want to say it's such an honor to talk to you, first of all.
It's great. I'm glad we're connected.
Yeah, and I'm so in so awe of what you do and what you've accomplished. And I heard from Jack, we did his visa, and he told us about you, and he said, hands down, you have to meet David. And you know, the work that we do is the work of a heart, and you've done such incredible things, my friend, that I'm just so impressed by you, and I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you. Jack had similar accolades of you, so it's certainly a warm feeling. I know you did some great work for him, and excited to be connected with you.
Yeah, and he told me that you were trying to come to the United States and you wanted to grow your business here and start a branch of your business. So tell me what you've been up to. I would love. I've read the things that you've done, and I've seen the businesses you've built. You take small companies who are going in the dissolution process, and you completely transform them. And I'm just in so much awe of you. Like, tell me about that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success clearly here in Germany, and it's gone really well. And you know, I guess the challenge here is how do I expand? Because I know U.S. is an incredible market. I've been looking to get in there for a long time now, and clearly with what's going on, I don't know the landscape and what's possible, to be honest with you. It's really a conversation I'm starting to have, and I'm really curious to get your feedback on it, because it is a frustrating situation when you want to expand your business and it's not going the way you want it to.
Absolutely. So David, that's something you don't have to worry about. This is what we do. This is our expertise. I want to know more about what you do. Because I want to know, like, you've done some amazing things. I want to know what your secret sauce is. How do you take these companies and like just transform them? Like, I want to know about you and the representation part and bringing you here. You leave that up to me because that's my life mission. That's what I do. I'm the best at what I do. And I love working with people who've taken companies that are in the dissolving process and going bankrupt and turned them into 20, 30, 40 million dollar companies. Like, I want to know about you and what your secret is.
20 seconds to go.
Yeah, well, the long short of it is that I had my challenges early on in my career and faced some challenges in the bankruptcy, and different things that were going on in my business. And I want to give that gift back to others because I've navigated those waters and I know what it's like for others to navigate those waters. And it's a challenging situation. I do have to take a call though, so I'm going to have to run.
No,
Yep.
I'm just kidding. Sure. David, it was so great to connect with you. I can't wait to continue this conversation.
Yeah, Miriam, he'll be right back in a couple of minutes. So perfect. Miriam, how'd that feel for you?
It felt a little bit like I couldn't get a lot of emotion from David. So it was like hard to connect. And I was trying to get, it was a little bit of because I did this before, it was a little bit of a struggle. But I didn't. And then towards the end, I felt a little bit of opening where I could just like enter and go in. But I didn't feel the immediate opening and the.
Yeah, understood. Okay. So, David, if you had one, actually, for the depth of connection you felt, scale 1 to 10, what would the number be?
7 or 8. I think great energy and really felt the warmth and I guess, really making me feel really good about who I am and my background.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Thank you for that, David. Dr. Malik, are you ready to go?
Abu, turn on your,
Okay. So.
Yes, he's ready. He's ready. So,
I think this is revenge from your daughter about over the house thing. So, Dr. Malik, who would you like David to be? Like, what's a yes that would matter to you in the world?
So
I think he needs a little bit of instruction on who he's going to be and who David. Like he's Abu. You're.
I want to be like my business partner.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And what is it that you're seeking a yes from him about?
About starting a new business.
Awesome. Very nice. All right. That sounds great. Okay. So it's going to be 2 rounds of 3 minutes each. So this is the first 3 minutes. And Dr. Malik, your business partner, what's your business partner's name? First name?
David, you can say.
All right. Yeah, David. All right, David. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hi, David.
Hi, Dr. Malik. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Doing well. Midday. Nice little Thursday here.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. So we are starting a new business in Florida. It's about it's a management company, which we do the contracting and credentialing for the hospitals. So I heard you have a lot of background on that. So I want to invite you and to know something about our company. So
yeah. Well, I've loved Florida for a long time now, and so clearly I've made my inroads here. I'd be curious to hear what you guys are up to and what your plan is.
So the plan is it's like we deal with the hospitals, and we develop contracts with them, and then so we get commission on that. So between the doctors and the hospitals. So it's so these contracts, then we get commission for them for the rest of our life. So it's like a 5% commission, whatever the doctors make. So looking at your background, so I thought you will be a great partner.
Nice. And how far along are you in the process, or what would my role be? Is this investor? Is this just actually managing, or where are you at in the timeline?
Be investing. So so we need like initially we need like $1 million. Then we can you can come off and on, and then we can train you, and you can be like a managing and a financial partner also. So if you like it, then we'll go from there. But initially we need like an investment.
And so how, I mean, clearly that's a big number in somewhere else. How do I understand the flow a little bit more, and what the opportunity is?
So like this is like once you invest, then we can talk about the details of how much percentage you will get, and then you will get the same as we get. It's for lifetime. Once we get any contract, it's a lifetime contract. So the money which you will be investing with your money will be investing on hiring the staff and advertisement, and that's what we need right now. So looking at your background and all that, and you like Florida, so we are hoping that you will be our best partner.
Got it. And just so I'm clear, so once I invest, then I learn the details. Is that what you said, or does that just mean in terms of the investment itself? It's not clear right now, but once the funding's there, then the investments come.
Right. So once we do the funding, once you do the funding, then you will get like we get like 20% of the percentage of what the doctors get. So out of that, we can do like 5% with you. So you'll get 5%, we'll get the 15%. So
Okay.
that is for sure. And then further, we can discuss the terms later.
Well, typically in these situations, I've gotten 10%. I'm wondering if there's flexibility there.
About 10 seconds to go, and then David's got to take a quick break.
So yeah, we can talk about that, but I think this is a very reasonable number which I gave you. So right now I would like to stick with that number, but we are flexible. We can talk about it.
All right. Well, I'd love to talk further. I got to hop right now, but let's continue the conversation.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice talking to you.
Good to talk to
All
you.
right. Very cool. All right, Dr. Malik, how'd that feel for you?
Yeah, he was convinced, but it took him little time for me to convince him. And then in the end, he wanted to negotiate about the rates.
Yeah. David, do you have your checkbook out?
Well, I mean, it's always out. It's just a matter of whether the pen comes out.
Yeah.
All right. So let's check in with the judges. So we're going to give about 40 seconds of feedback. You hear the alarm about 35 seconds in. I'll just say beep beep, 35 seconds in, and then 5 seconds to a score, please. So let us start this round with Justin.
Justin, unmute yourself.
Justin, you're muted.
So I'm sorry about that. So having never done this before, I just wanted to ask: is it a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah,
or
it's a scale. Yep, scale 1 to 10. It's about 40 seconds of feedback for each Miriam and Dr. Malik, and 20 seconds. First 20 seconds would be what you thought Miriam, did well. The second 20 seconds, what could be optimized, and then a score on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay, I thought that overall Miriam did great. I think the thing that really came through for her is a sense of sincerity and a kind of warmth as she was talking to the other people. And it also seemed like she was really listening to them when they spoke and really more interested in hearing about them than just in talking about herself. So I think she did great. Dr. Malik, I think, did great too. He kind of like the same thing. He was a great listener, tough negotiator with the price of the company there. But overall, I thought he did a great job also.
And what did you have for scores?
For scores, I would give Miriam a 9 and Dr. Malik I would give an 8.
All right, excellent. Alex, what did you have? Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
Yeah, first of all, great job, everyone. So I'm gonna add to Miriam done a great job with acknowledging David's talents, David's acknowledgement. So it was absolutely great. So I showed like sincerity in there. One thing that could be a little bit improved, as she was replying, Miriam, I believe your reply was a little bit too fast. So it make an impression that you already had an answer before you hear what David was saying. So you might want to do a little bit more pause before you reply. And for Dr. Malik, it was great introducing as well and making David interested in the opportunity. One thing that could be improved, in my view, is giving him a little bit more information in advance about the company. So if it was a real negotiation, if it was a real opportunity, I think it would be worth to give a little bit more detail before asking for investment. So basically give information more before asking for investment. That's how I normally do then I invest. In terms of scores, everybody was absolutely brilliant, especially, you know, and in second conversation, David, his energy was very high. So he showed genuine interest speaking with Dr. Malik, which was absolutely great for David. So scores, I would give Miriam, I would give a 9. Dr. Malik, I would give 8. And for David, I would give 9.5.
All right, awesome. And Jordan, what did you have for Miriam and for Doc?
Yeah, so Miriam, I think, did a very good job of identifying her skills and then also identifying David's skills, which I think is good. Something to improve upon was thinking through her responses, because I felt the same as Alex, that it was a little bit rushed. And when it's rushed, it becomes somewhat of a rant. There's like, you keep repeating yourself a little bit, and I noticed that. And now Dr. Malik, I think he did a great job grabbing David's interest. It was somewhat vague in the investment, but I thought that might have been a turnoff, but it actually drawed him in a little bit more than I would have thought, which I think was a really big benefit for him. And then, like we were saying, a little bit more planned out in the preparation. But if the goal of this is to draw the attention of David, Sean?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then I would go Dr. Malik. I think he had a 9, and then Miriam had an 8, because I just felt like he was grabbing the attention while Miriam was still working through the conversation in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, awesome. So Adam, by the way, Adam Gugino, co-founder of Unblinded, and thank you, Jordan. Adam managed 100 million phone calls, 100 million phone calls a year, as his company was in Inc. 500 magazine as one of America's fastest growing companies 3 years in a row. And they went from about 4 million in revenue to 750 million in revenue. So Adam, what's some quick feedback, maybe 20 seconds each, on what you just saw from Doc and from Miriam?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Miriam, she did ask some questions. I liked her acknowledgments. She was wondering why she didn't really connect. I think shorter questions, changing her energy just a little bit, with a little more empathy, would have opened up David just a little bit more. I think that's where the connection was lost, really looking to get to potentially there. Overall, I thought she did a great job. I would give her an 8.5, 8.8 we'll give her. And with Dr. Malik, absolute certainty. You know, he comes in, he's got something, which is why he created the interest. But I think the rapport was not there. I think the wanting to understand more about the David's, again, why, as well as like what, just more about him. Building emotional rapport would have been key. So more questions, definitely, like was said. I wouldn't have got to the ask that early for the investment before I was able to truly get to my own heroic, unique identity after understanding more about David. So overall, Doctor, I would have given him a 7.2.
All right, awesome. So we're heading into round 2. Miriam, are you ready for round 2?
I am ready.
All right, so second 3 minutes here, judges, we're assessing. Miriam's going to be conveying her identity, her story, who she is, and how much does David see his future in Miriam and her abilities to solve this problem as she moves to a yes, whatever the yes is she's seeking. Miriam, you have 3 minutes. Take us in, please.
Hi, David.
Hey, Miriam. Good to be back on.
Yeah, awesome. So, David, I want to pick up from where we left off last time. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, great. So, I've had this is my firm. I'm the managing partner. I've had the firm for 8 years. We've been through great economical times in terms of the presidential elections and immigration being liberal, then being conservative. And we are voted the #1 immigration law firm in New York City. And that's a large feat to accomplish because there's an immigration law firm every step of all of downtown. So in our building, there's about 17 other immigration law firms. We were in the Wall Street Journal interviewed by the New York Times, and the reason, David, is not to impress you, but just to really hone and tell you who we are at our soul. Like, we represent people of extraordinary abilities and artists and models and people who are the best at what they do, and we bring them here. So we're also in the business of growing the American economy. And so thereby our interests really align, because when Jack told me about you, we did our own research about you, I saw that you've come from nothing and you've really reached financial highs in Germany, and your natural next step is coming to the US. And so we've had about 100% success rate in filing these investor visas, and we want to work with people like you. We're known from our clients as a law firm with a heart, and I see the work that you do, that it's not just about the money, it's heart. Like, this is your soul, this is what you were born to do. So I connect with you on that, because this is what I was born to do. I was born to do it. I feel it in my heart and my soul and everything I do. So I will go out of my way, above and beyond, to do this for you. And I'd love to hear what your obstacles have been thus far in terms of looking for attorneys, and like what has come in your way, your pain points. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I'd say at this current time, I'm early on in the process, and so there's a lot of, I'd say, uncertainty for me in terms of clarity of process and what it actually takes. And clearly there's a certain political environment right now, and how does the election play into that? Like, what are the things timeline-wise and otherwise that it would take? And this is probably a broader conversation, but that's some of the stuff that's top of mind for me right now.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So your visa, luckily, is the one that was exempted from, you're in the exempt category. So you're not part of the proclamation and all the immigration stop that's been happening on visas. So that's good news.
30 seconds to go.
And so that's great news. And, I've seen that your business, and Jack's told me, and that your business has just come at an impasse in Germany. So your next step is here, and there's great opportunity here. And David, now is the time. So let's get this done. Let's have a greater consultation. Let's meet. Let's discuss how to move forward. And I'm on board. I'm 100% on your team, and I want to move forward with you. So can we go ahead and book an appointment to have a further conversation?
Yeah, I think it would be useful, because I'd love to learn more for sure.
Awesome.
All right, Miriam, excellent. How'd that feel, Miriam?
It felt a little bit better. I felt like I was talking a lot, and I felt like I was talking a lot. I wanted to hear more, but I just wasn't able to like penetrate. It was interesting. It's great. I also keep comparing it to the last time when I did with Mona, and that was so easy. and that's what happens, right? Some people it's really easy, and other people it's like, David, how do I get through to you?
We'll explore that in a few. Excellent job, Miriam. Excellent. Doc, are you ready to go?
Yes.
We got $1 million deal investment hanging in the balance as we go to round 2, please.
Okay. Hi, David.
Hey, Doc, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. Just enjoying this sunny Florida weather.
Oh, great, great. Yeah, it's nice seeing you again. So, David, I want to start from where we left, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So, as you know, I've worked as a dermatologist for 15 years. Then I was like wanted to go into the business, so I did MBA in healthcare management from University of Phoenix, and then I started working with a company as a contracting and credentialing manager, which deals with the doctors and the hospitals. So now I decided to start my own company, and that's what when I heard about you, so that's how I contacted you, and so now I wanted to start a new company, and this, as I explained to you earlier, the main part of the company is between doctors and the hospitals. So once we get the contract, then we start going and with other groups of doctors. And being a doctor, I know a lot of groups here. There are medical groups, hospitals. So I have connections with the vice presidents, presidents of the company. And so we always meet in Florida. And so plus the other benefit when you get here in Florida would be like it's a great vacation spot. And there are a lot of other fun things to do. And as you mentioned earlier, you love Florida and you want to come and spend some time here. So that's how I want to meet you, and we can go on a dinner tonight and talk more about it.
Well, I'm always up for some good Southern cuisine. I guess I'd be curious how the operation works, because it's a little fuzzy to me right now, how the revenue streams, how the business itself would operate. And, have you done this before? It sounds like this would be a new endeavor, or are you experienced inside of operating this kind of business?
So I worked with the company which were doing this. So no, I haven't started the business yet, but that's how my proposal is. And as I told you earlier, that it's between the doctors need a contract, because the doctor don't get paid directly. Once they have a contract with the hospital, then the hospital pay them a fixed fee for that. Suppose a patient come and he will not get paid directly. The hospital will pay them like $120-$130, so they fix the amount. So that's how we come to play. So we say, okay, the doctor will not get $120, doctor will get $130. So we try to increase the rates for the doctor. So once we get like a 10%, 20% increased rate, so then we get our percentage. So they pay us like for doing that, they pay us like 15-20%. The doctors pay us. So that's what when you will invest, then out of that 15%, so then we will negotiate the percentage which you will get as an investor. So that's how it is. So yeah, so my experience is like as being a doctor, I've seen these things. Then I did my MBA, then I did the work with the company. So it's almost like a 20 years experience with all these contracting and potentially.
Dave, you got a phone call in about 10 seconds.
Well, it sounds pretty compelling. I'd love to learn more about it. Dinner sounds good. I love a nice steakhouse.
Sure. There's a Ruth Steakhouse here. It has a nice steak. We can go there tonight.
I'm a big fan of Ruth's. That sounds brilliant.
Awesome. All right. Excellent job, Doc. Let's go to the assessors. So, Jordan, what do you have for Miriam and Dr. Malik?
Yeah. So Miriam, I thought that was a much better round, because she focused on what her specialty was. She explained it. She compared herself against the others, really drawing that separation. And then she was able to kind of dive into what David needed and how they were going to close the gap. And then she also got the yes, which is always big. Dr. Malik, he elaborated more. He also talked about himself, which was always good, because it's just validating what's going on. I think the plan could have been ironed out a little bit more. He elaborated a little bit, but it seemed like they were still a little bit confused and wanted to learn more. So I'd probably go Miriam 9, Dr. Malik 8 this round.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Jordan. Justin, what did you have?
You're on mute, Justin.
Sorry. I think that Miriam did a great job telling about herself. It felt like she talked for a long time, though. Like she said, it's tough when you're trying to explain yourself to keep it brief, but yet still get across all the key points. And I think that she struggled with that a little bit, but overall did a good job telling the potential client about herself. For the second half, I thought that Dr. Malik did a great job. It was great. I think that he shared more information about the company, about the venture. And I liked it that he made it more of a back and forth. Rather than just continuing talking the whole time, he made it like more conversational so that David was talking as well.
Excellent. So what'd you have for score?
I would give on this one Miriam an 8 and Dr. Malik a 9.
Excellent. Thank you, Justin. And Alex, what did you have from Miriam and Dr. Malik?
Miriam, I loved how you introduced yourself. So you definitely explained your competence and why you should be trusted. What I also loved about you, that even though you had a pretty long conversation, you were able to introduce, let's say, just name David by his name, which is just always great to keep his interest. Just when you do this long conversation, ensure you don't lose the customer, and you've done a great job mentioning his name. What might have been done a little bit better is I normally tend to ask people a little bit earlier what the challenge is, so they have time to speak up as well. But overall, it was brilliant that you build rapport 100%. Dr. Malik, it was amazing, absolutely amazing how you explain your core. So it's not just a business. So you put the person name to the business. I mean, the person face to the business, which is yourself. So you build a personal connection. What might have been improved is because it's a new business, it would be very beneficial for you to explain how your previous experience accounts for the business. You mentioned it briefly in the last 10 seconds. If you mentioned it earlier, that you have this experience as a doctor, so you know what they need, it would add a little bit more value to the business. It wouldn't feel as raw as it might be. But overall, I would give 9s to both Miriam and Dr. Malik. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Miriam, how's this all sounding and feeling for you?
It's good. I remember the last time you said to add the pain, because I was going, so I remember to do that, to talk about, the services and then go into the potential client's pain points, and then show that we are here to take care of that, and not just talk about myself and then leave it like, oh, it's all great, everything's going to be fine. It's like, hey, no, you need this right now or you're going to die. That kind of that was the intention behind what I was doing. Yeah.
All right. So we talked about depth of connection. So thank you for sharing that. David, can we jump in for a minute and explore a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Miriam, David's name in the exercise was what?
David.
Oh, we kept it. Okay. So David's, again, my name is Miriam, and I'm really thankful that you're taking a couple minutes to chat.
Yeah, I'm glad we could connect.
Yeah. So can you tell me, what are your outcomes? What are you seeking to do?
Well, expansion in the U.S. is certainly top of mind for me. It hasn't been something that I've given a lot of focus to, but it's always been on the precipice. And to be honest, I'm not clear necessarily how that process works and what the current implications are in terms of political environment, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, these are obviously incredibly complex times, particularly coming with the upcoming election. but we're gonna give you some certainty in that space. Before we get there, though, why do you want to do all this? Like, kind of what's the interest in the U.S. and the vision for the business overall?
I've had some success here in Germany, and that's been beautiful. And a lot of that has actually been connected with a lot of U.S. businesses and entrepreneurs and things like that. So I have a strong tie, I think, to wanting to be in the U.S. I was there formerly in my life, and I think that's the logical next step for me if it makes sense and there's not a lot of risk around the whole immigration things. I know sometimes there's a lot of uncertainty there.
Yeah. So why, though, you're building this? I get there's opportunity, but like, what drives you as an entrepreneur? You've achieved a lot, obviously. And why do you keep going? Like, what's this ultimate vision for you, for David?
I like to help people who are struggling like I will, that have my own business along the course of my path. And I know a lot of times there were people there who helped me see the way. And I just want to kind of give that back and be somebody who can be a mentor and someone who can champion other people who are probably struggling in similar ways that I've been struggling.
All right, Miriam, do you feel that spot or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean like the point where you said you went into the it was like the surface, like your credentials, and then you're like, but really, why?
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
does the
with an aspirational tone, head leaning, deep listening, caring, present, right? David, I know it's a role play, but did you feel that or no?
It's interesting because I'm trying to role play, but I was just sitting here. I was like, yeah, like that was my own stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and by the way, it's heart-centered, integrous. Like, hey, I want to hear your story. Like, what's your life about? Like, where's this going, and why? Like a genuine why. Because I asked why twice, but I didn't feel like I repeated it. But the why the first time was the surface why. So I can make money. It's an opportunity. Well, why do you want to make money though? Like, and not in a bad way. Like, what's this? And hear how the question is asked. Because the question itself, the words, are 7%, as most of us know, of our communication. 93% are our vocal qualities and our body language. So the question of like, so yeah, like, David, like, why though? Like, where's this all going? Like, right? So it's a compound question, why, where's it going? But it's giving him guidance to like move aspirationally. When why becomes energetically aspirational is when we begin to move into somebody's heart. You feel that, David?
Yeah, that was powerful.
Yeah. Miriam?
Wait, you said when why becomes aspirational, you move into somebody's energetically
Heart.
Move into their heart.
Yeah, from their head to their heart. Right? From head to heart.
I noticed that shift. It was slight, but I noticed it. Something changed in him, and like, yeah.
Yeah, and I stopped there, but even though it was a role play, we could have gone deeper. Because David, my level 5 listening tells me that you've had mentors, and you want to pay things forward. You personally, for real, you want to pay things forward. You've had mentors that had a huge impact on you, and you want to carry that legacy forward. Yes or no?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So when this occurs, even in role playing, David stepped into his heart and himself.
Yeah.
Right? Crazy. Okay. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We could do lots more. But David, how was your experience today?
This is great. I mean, love the overall experience, and I just got a lot from what you were sharing as well in terms of that next level of asking and how you got there. So it was a pleasure to be here, and definitely learned some things for myself. Thank you.
Well, I thank you for your time and for being you, and for everybody, guys. People want that if they believe that authentically we care. Like, I'm genuinely curious. We have like time. We're wrapping on time, but I want to know, like, who impacted David. Like, what's their story? And when we love people and we're genuinely curious about them, it's like, yeah, like that's our heart. That's their heart. So thank you, David. Alex, how was today for you?
It was great, and I deal with a similar conversation like Miriam every day. So Sean, hearing you as Miriam, how you change and what can be improved, and really caring, not just selling yourself, but really caring, helps me personally. And I enjoyed a lot hearing how it can be improved further. Thank you.
No, thank you, Alex. Justin.
I remember the unmute this time, and I had a great time. It's very interesting, all the little things that you don't notice that you guys in your group pinpoint and talk about, that so many people are just goes completely over their head. And so I think that's really cool, and I learned a lot of stuff like that. And then also I like the fact of this sincerity, because my whole business, my whole career has been built on sincerity, on being myself and that kind of thing. And I love it that that's a big aspect of sincerity, and the really investing and listening to what the other person is saying. And so I thought it was great. I've never been to one of your guys' programs at all before, but it was a great experience.
Well, appreciate you. Thank you so much, Justin. And Jordan, how was your experience?
Yeah, this was my first time at an Unblinded event, and I thought it was very eye-opening because it touched on areas, as Justin was just saying, it made awareness to things that we don't recognize. When you're talking normally in these pitches, you just go through it and you have your routine, you have your little script.
Yeah.
You don't think, oh, why I have to dive in to really get to know them. And that's what it's all about. And I learned a ton today, and this was really awesome.
Yeah,
If you guys ever
thank
need
you.
a judge or someone again, let me know.
Yeah, brother, thank you. And so I'm going to be speaking on Tony Robbins' stage later today. I prepared 10 hours for something that'll be about 10 minutes. I prepared for 10
Wow.
hours, and I'm privileged to be one of only 2 attorneys in the country that has 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016. And in one of those cases, as we went through jury verdict review and all these micro distinctions, it became very clear to us that our client wasn't particularly sympathetic. And so he was wrong. That's like, yeah, this is wrong what happened to him. It's wrong what happened to him. And the jury came back in the first mock juries at $3 million, $4 million, and $5 million, like 3, 4, and 5 million, right? And it's like, wow, like that's crazy, because a lot worse happened. And it was a business case, right? But a lot more happened in damage. And the second round, we made the case entirely about the other side and their lying. So it wasn't about our client, the victim. It was about the other side as the liars and perpetrators. And the second round, the verdicts came back at 17 million, 27 million, 37 million, the mock jury. Now here's where it gets interesting. The jury verdict consultants in that case that we were working with, considered to be some of the top in the country, they had 3 psychologists on staff, and they said the way we're approaching it was incorrect. And I was like, that's crazy. And so we went back and forth and had a very intense dialogue, and these people got paid $250,000, right? So they basically said, you're never going to win a trial. There's no way. This case is worth $1 million. And this is like, and even the way you're doing it, you're going to get 0. And we ended up getting $27 million a trial, right? Up from their $1 million thought and the $3 or $4 million initial verdicts that we were getting in the mock trials. And the bottom line is it was the truth. Like, we achieved the truth. But to your point, Jordan, it was in supporting people. This is what Unblinded is all about, and seeing what they didn't see. And these micro distinctions are the difference between being Oprah Winfrey and almost getting as an attractive, energized, engaging, television personality, almost getting a TV show versus being Oprah. The differences are this big, compounded over time. And that's part of what we're here to explore in Unblinded. So thank you for that. Miriam, how was today for you as we bring it home?
It was amazing, very eye-opening. Yeah, it was great. Always great. Thank you, Sean. I'm excited to hear you on BM.
Oh, yes.
Mona was in our group yesterday, by the way. We didn't see her.
Oh my God. Well, please jump in the chat when we talk about the Platt opportunity. I'll be talking about it around 6 o'clock. If you could hit that chat.
Awesome. Yes, I'm
Hey,
excited.
well, thank you, Miriam. And Dr. Malik, how was today for you?
Oh, it was great. And first of all, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be here. And the things which I've learned here is that because I was not prepared for all this, it was all of a sudden. So this shows that how important is the presentation and business plan. So this shows me that if you don't have a business plan, you can't sell anything.
Yeah.
And the second thing is the presentation, because if
It
you're not
wasn't all of a
prepared,
sudden. I told you last week.
Well, this
I
is going
told
to
you
be
every day.
this is going to be Miriam and her dad. Round 2 is going to be this resolution of this issue. So, but for real, the ability for us to create integrous, irresistible offers, like micro yeses to move forward is such an enormous part. And there's hundreds of hours. We could talk about all this, but we're at time for today on Thankful Thursday, and I'm thankful for each of you, your time. On behalf of Adam Gugino, Vivian Guzman, the entire Unblinded team, Miriam, Dr. Malik, thank you so much. Jordan, Justin, Alex, thank you. And David, of course. Wonderful job, brother. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. And we're all blind and just learning to see. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.